Something big might be brewing at Ibrox, and it's got that familiar Steven Gerrard energy written all over it. After weeks of discontent, pressure, and confusion inside Rangers Football Club, signs are pointing toward a dramatic return that could shake the Scottish game once again. But Gerrard's potential comeback isn't just about revisiting old glory. It's about reshaping the entire structure of the club from the touchline, and doing it fast. With Russell Martin shown the door after a torrid run of results, Rangers now sit embarrassingly low in the Scottish Premiership table. Just one win in the league, inconsistent performances, and a fanbase that's run out of patience. The urgency for change couldn't be louder. And who better to answer that call than the man who ended a 10-year wait for a league title in 2021? Steven Gerrard is understood to be in advanced talks with the Rangers hierarchy, and his return could be confirmed as early as the upcoming clash against Dundee United at Ibrox. But make no mistake, this isn't a nostalgia trip. Gerrard is coming with a plan, and more importantly, with people. Reports suggest the former Liverpool captain is already handpicking an elite-level coaching team to walk back through those Ibrox doors with him. One name doing the rounds is Steve Holland, Gareth Southgate's trusted assistant with England and a man widely considered one of the sharpest minds in modern coaching. Holland isn't just experienced, he's decorated. 8 years at Chelsea, working under elite managers like Jose Mourinho, Rafa Benitez, and Antonio Conte. He was in the dugout for Premier League titles, European nights, and domestic cup finals. Players speak about him with immense respect. Cesc Fabregas once called him one of the best coaches he's ever had. That tells you everything. If Gerrard can convince Holland to leave the England setup and join him at Rangers, it would be a massive coup. Not just because of what Holland brings tactically, but also because it signals the level of seriousness Gerrard is applying to this possible second spell. He's not coming back to pick up where he left off. He's coming back to finish what he started, with even more firepower behind him. And it's not just Holland being linked. Former striker Jermaine Defoe could also be in the mix. His time at Rangers as a player under Gerrard was nothing short of professional brilliance, not just in what he delivered on the pitch, but in how he carried himself as a leader and role model. Defoe has since stepped into coaching and has publicly spoken about the admiration he has for Gerrard as a leader. A potential reunion could bring not just familiarity, but mentorship, something this struggling squad desperately needs. Another possible piece of the puzzle is Stephen Davis. The Northern Ireland assistant has been around Ibrox in various capacities and knows the club inside and out. There's belief that he could step into a more prominent coaching role if Gerrard does return. And of course, there's always Gary McAllister, Gerrard's longtime assistant during his first spell at Rangers. The two had a solid partnership that delivered silverware and stability. McAllister has not ruled out a return either, leaving the door open for a full-circle moment. But while the band might be getting back together, one name expected to be left out is Michael Beale. Once Gerrard's trusted lieutenant and tactical mind, Beale's own tenure as Rangers manager ended in disappointment and dismissal. His departure left a bitter taste, and the general consensus is that a reunion is off the table. That decision alone says a lot about Gerrard's mindset. This is not about sentiment. It's about results. And results are exactly what this team needs. The current Rangers squad is short on confidence, lacking leadership, and underperforming across all areas. Domestic form has been poor, and European hopes are hanging by a thread. Whoever comes in next, Gerrard or not, will be walking into a pressure cooker with zero margin for error. That's the weight of the badge at Ibrox. There is no transition period, no grace time to build. As Connor Cody put it recently, Rangers isn't the type of club where you can come in and hope things improve over time. The demand for success is immediate. Every match is a must-win. Every performance is judged under a microscope. That's just the reality in Glasgow. Cody himself was linked to Rangers over the summer before opting for Wrexham in the Championship, but he's kept a close eye on the situation at Ibrox. Speaking recently, he highlighted what he believes is the core issue, a lack of understanding among players, management, and even ownership of just how big Rangers Football Club truly is. From his perspective, watching games and following the club from afar, it's clear that those who arrived in the summer underestimated the size and the expectations of the club. Rangers fans don't just support the team, they live and breathe it. They follow in numbers. They demand excellence. And if you're not ready for that, you get found out. There's no hiding at Rangers. That's what made Gerrard's first spell so memorable. He understood the weight of the shirt. He brought discipline, structure, and belief back to Ibrox. Now, the club finds itself in a similar place to where it was before his arrival in 2018, desperate for leadership, stability, and a new direction. It's no surprise that fans are starting to rally behind the idea of his return. This isn't just a coaching change. This is a cultural reset. Beyond the touchline drama, there's also movement on the pitch, or at least the hope of it. Youssef, Rangers' £10 million striker, might finally be catching a break after an incredibly rough start to life in Glasgow. The 21-year-old has yet to score a goal in a Rangers shirt and has struggled to find form since arriving from Everton. But a recall to Portugal's under-21 side could give him the boost he so desperately needs. Manager Luís Freire of the Portuguese under-21s has made it clear that Kennedy is a player they still believe in. His size, speed, and ability to link play are rare assets, and his Europa League appearance for Rangers, despite hitting the bar, showed flashes of what he's capable of. His last goal at club level was all the way back in May of 2023 for Sporting Lisbon. It's been a long wait, and the pressure has been building. But Freire's words could not have come at a better time. For Kennedy, this is more than just another call-up. It's a chance to reset, to find rhythm, and to finally show Rangers supporters why the club invested so heavily in him. There's no question about his physical potential. At 1 meter and 95 centimeters tall, with solid pace and strength, Kennedy ticks all the boxes on paper. But Rangers fans want more than promise. They want results. His international recall could be the key to unlocking his confidence and bringing that missing end product back into his game. And for Rangers, that could be massive. Goals have been hard to come by, and with pressure mounting on all fronts, a spark from their biggest attacking investment could be the difference between a turnaround and a total collapse. If Steven Gerrard does walk back through those doors at Ibrox, he won't just be expected to rebuild a football team. He'll be expected to rebuild belief. And in Glasgow, that might just be the hardest job in football. Because at Rangers, you're not measured only by what you win, but by how you carry the weight of generations. By how you handle the noise, the pressure, the constant comparisons to past glories, and the fierce rivalry across the city. Gerrard has done it before, but doing it again, now, in this new era, might demand even more from him. The club he left behind in November of 2021 is not the same club he might return to now. The dressing room has changed. The boardroom has changed. The gap between where Rangers are and where they need to be has widened, both on the pitch and in terms of identity. What Gerrard managed to build during his first spell wasn't just about tactics or trophies. He reignited standards. He brought back a level of professionalism that had been missing for years. And when Rangers finally lifted their 55th title under him, it wasn't just a celebration. It was a statement that the club had found itself again. That feeling, that sense of purpose, has slowly slipped away since his departure. The post-Gerrard years have been a mixed bag. Brief highs, scattered cup wins, European runs that thrilled but never quite ended in silverware. And yet, through it all, the one thing that's been missing most is consistency, not just in results, but in identity. Under Russell Martin, that loss of direction became even more evident. His ideas never seemed to translate onto the pitch. The squad looked disjointed, unsure of what kind of football they were supposed to be playing. Performances were flat. Fans grew frustrated. And as the defeats stacked up, so did the doubts, not just about the manager, but about the club's entire vision. That's where Gerrard potentially comes in, not just as a tactician, but as someone who understands the DNA of Rangers. Someone who's been through the fire and knows what it takes to survive it. Someone who can demand more from this group of players because he's earned that respect. He's not a fresh face walking into Ibrox for the first time. He's a proven leader with unfinished business. But let's not pretend this is going to be easy. If Gerrard takes charge again, he'll inherit a squad that's not only underperforming, but mentally fragile. The pressure to get results will be immediate. There will be no time for slow starts or tactical experiments. Every match will feel like a cup final. And that's where his new backroom staff, if secured, will be absolutely critical. Names like Steve Holland aren't just being mentioned for show. They're being considered because this rebuild requires real football intelligence, elite-level coaching, and people who won't be overwhelmed by the spotlight. Gerrard knows that. He's not naive. After his time at Aston Villa and the short-lived spell in Saudi Arabia, he understands how brutal this industry can be. He's seen what happens when expectations aren't met, when dressing rooms drift, when clubs lose their soul. If he returns to Rangers, it won't be out of comfort. It'll be because he believes he can restore something that's been lost. Because he knows what Ibrox sounds like when it believes again. Because he's felt the roar after a derby win. Because he's seen the city light up when Rangers are on top. That connection, that bond with the supporters, is rare, and Gerrard still has it. Meanwhile, the players will need to respond. Some have already shown glimpses of quality this season, but glimpses aren't enough. The squad, as it stands, lacks leadership on the pitch. Too many passengers. Not enough voices in the dressing room willing to take ownership. That's where someone like Jermaine Defoe could be invaluable if brought in as part of the coaching team. Defoe understands what it means to set standards daily. His influence on younger players could help shift the mentality from passive to relentless. That shift is vital if Rangers are going to compete again, both domestically and in Europe. Then there's the board. They've made bold moves before, but the decision to reappoint Gerrard, if it happens, will say a lot about where they see the future heading. Is it a short-term fix to stabilize the season? Or is it a long-term commitment to rebuild properly, with a manager who knows the terrain and can attract high-caliber staff and players? The answer might lie in how quickly Gerrard's demands are met. If he's asking for big names like Holland and structured support around recruitment, analysis, and player development, then the board must be ready to back him fully. No more half measures. No more excuses. Supporters won't accept another false dawn. They've seen too many. They've heard all the right words before, only to watch it unravel 6 months later. What they want now is action, clarity, a plan, and most of all, passion, the kind Gerrard brought with him every time he stood on that touchline in front of the Copeland Road end. That version of Rangers, the one that pressed high, fought for every ball, defended with their lives, and played with pride. That's the version fans want back. The one that made them believe they could go toe-to-toe with anyone. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. Glasgow has been buzzing since the early hours of Thursday morning, when reports began circulating that Rangers chief executive, James Bisgrove, had made a stunning revelation about the club's future. While the full details remain cloaked in secrecy, those close to Ibrox suggest that Bisgrove's comments could reshape the very fabric of the Rangers organization, and perhaps even the landscape of Scottish football itself. Sources claim the revelation came during a closed-door meeting with senior club figures, where Bisgrove allegedly hinted at a major internal shift and long-overdue truths that would soon be made public. Within hours, whispers spread through Glasgow pubs, fan forums, and even the training ground, leaving supporters torn between disbelief and anticipation. Speculation runs wild. Some insist Bisgrove's remarks relate to financial restructuring, perhaps linked to the club's long-term sustainability or investment strategy. Others suspect something deeper, maybe a power struggle within the boardroom or a new vision that challenges the traditional hierarchy at Ibrox. A few even whisper that the revelation concerns a controversial partnership that could bring in massive funds, but at a heavy cost to the club's identity. The timing couldn't be more delicate. Rangers, still chasing Celtic in the Premiership, have faced growing pressure on and off the pitch. Bisgrove, known for his polished professionalism and marketing acumen, has been credited with modernizing the club's commercial strategy since stepping into the CEO role. But now, with his latest statement, described by one insider as earth-shattering, even his staunchest supporters are bracing for turbulence. Neither Bisgrove nor the club have released an official statement, but a cryptic post from a senior Rangers staff member on social media has only added fuel to the fire. Truth can be uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Whatever the revelation turns out to be, one thing is certain: the blue half of Glasgow won't be quiet anytime soon. The city hums with speculation, and every pub, every taxi, and every office seems to have its own theory. Rangers fans are holding their breath, wondering if Bisgrove's bombshell will mark the dawn of a new era or the beginning of another storm at Ibrox. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.